let's go ahead and do the scenario Commodore on the east. The railroad has grown out of its infancy and become the lifeline of the eastern metropolises. Small rail lines have become powerful businesses which can decide the economic success or downfall of entire regions. Now the time has come for the determination to build a railroad empire that will span generations. AI level very hard, realistic, pause mode Trainiac. We'll be going for all gold checks as always. But yeah, I find this one to be super easy, except maybe one of the express lines they make you set up, just because the game is stupid.
All those who claimed the railroad was just a fad and could never replace the stagecoach have been proven wrong. The railway lines are the arteries of our civilization. If you succeed in building a railroad empire, it will last for generations.
So, why am I jumping all the way to Buffalo? That might be an odd thing to do, right? Well, not really, because our task list here says connect 5 cities, get a profit of 800,000 a quarter. We need 1,000 passengers from New York to Buffalo very shortly, and that's not very easy to do unless you hook up Buffalo and New York almost immediately. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. This method does work the best, I have found. And you got to start work on these pretty quick to get your passengers, otherwise you just don't transport enough fast enough. As always, no bridges, please. No bridges and tunnels, that is, if we can help it. On the bright side, unlike Metropolis, we don't have to deal with grasshoppers this time, which is very nice. We only have to deal with the like Philadelphia's and stuff, so now we actually are starting to get some competent trains. So this is also transport 1,000 passengers from New York to Buffalo without stopping, so you can't use your rural pass-through stations or anything like that. So we're gonna run New York to Buffalo, and again with the dock, trains are much cheaper, so we're gonna go ahead and just start off with 4 of those. I'm gonna set them to automatic because the beer and meat that they will transfer will die out rather quick. So from there, we're gonna have to start creating an economic engine first, and then we gotta grow Buffalo. So, but first you want that engine so you can have the money to set up your other stations to grow Buffalo. So we'll go ahead and set up our pass-through station here. We're gonna go lock down New York. I've found the time constraints on this one are not nearly as like ruthless as Metropolis or like Chapter 4. I'm not sure why some scenarios actually are not that hard. I know one of my videos I said they were. This one's relatively easy, aside from an express route they make you set up that the game just doesn't always like to give you express trains, even when you should very clearly have express trains. So you just have to kind of deal with that. Roll with it. Hope you get those express trains. Okay. Just kidding, not done yet. On the other side of the bridge now. Put in some signals that we will need. You don't want to set your rural station over here too close to the main line, because you'll get full-length trains that are blocking everything when they're trying to get onto the merge here, and that's a big problem. Alright, now we're gonna go hook up Syracuse. Do the same thing. So you can see, actually no you can't, my camera's probably blocking it, but the AI in this one start off in just 2 cities each. They don't ever seem to expand. Every time I've tested this, they just don't expand. So I think they're broken, I would assume, in the Commodore scenario here, but I don't know. It could be something else that I am just not aware of, maybe. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. It's pretty helpful that they're not doing like anything at all. It makes it significantly easier to buy them out, but it's a little weird. It's definitely a little weird. Get as close as we can there. Hook up our station. So you can see I'm utilizing both pass-through rural stations for this, and also a combination of rural pass-through stations, also warehouses later, and a trunk line. I wouldn't normally do the trunk line situation, because I usually do, you know, hop between cities, but in this case it makes sense due to the fact that you had to hook up Buffalo and New York immediately. So we'll go ahead and run corn between these two just for a little bit of extra money. Bye, 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 bye. There you go. Now we're gonna go Syracuse to Buffalo. This one I actually struggled with on what I wanted to do, because did I want to hook up sugar between these guys, or did I want to hook up grain? Because they're both going to be growing materials for Buffalo down the line, but grain's on the other side. Whichever one I don't hook up, it ends up in a warehouse usually, but we'll just have to see. I am going to get this, but I'm going to wait till the end to vote. So that'll give us 8% more passengers in every station, which is always not a bad thing. So Buffalo, we need to get to 70,000 relatively quickly. I don't find this scenario to be super difficult in timing. That's just me, of course. It could be for some people. I thought Metropolis was significantly harder than this one. I might start putting in maintenance and towers later on in a scenario, depending on how long the scenario is. This one, at least with the stupid, when you're waiting on your express trains certification, can just drag on. It just feels like you're waiting forever. I don't know why it's so adamant and not giving me my express line rating, but I've tried several times, and I'm like going straight from Toledo. Yes, it's from Toledo to New York. I'm going straight from Toledo through the mountains, across bridges to New York, and it just, about half the time, it does not want to give me that express train rating, and it's extremely irritating. You can't go any more direct. I don't understand what it wants me to do. So we'll have to see if I run into that this time or not. Hopefully not. Hopefully it works. But you never know with this game. It's all over the place with what it determines to be good and not good. And then probably after this, I'll run more trains from New York to Buffalo to speed that up a little bit. I'm not super concerned with our situation there yet by any means. So now Buffalo is gonna have access to sugar. And also beer if I hook up grain to Syracuse, because we'll need that to grow as well. You know what? We'll do I'm gonna do a max of 9 trains on one line, probably. So grain is an interesting one. I'm probably gonna put in a... So what I was doing in the past was putting in a... When I was testing this, I was putting in a pass-through warehouse here to take fruit, vegetables, and corn between Toledo and Buffalo, but you can't seem to run enough trains that they only ever take fruit and vegetables because the warehouse distribution works from the bottom up for some reason, or so it seems. So they would barely ever take corn to Buffalo, so I'm starting to wonder if you are specifically trying to grow a city, you should maybe put the warehouse in the city. But I haven't come to a conclusive answer on that yet, but I am going to go ahead and put a warehouse in here. Although, let's try that. Let's do a pass-through warehouse here. See if I can't turn sharp enough out of the station in Buffalo. So this is going to be grain. This is going to be corn, wood. No sugar because we're already bringing it in. Vegetables and fruit, I believe, for now. And then I'm going to currently hook up the grain into it. Like that. Minimum of 8 run in there, please, to help Buffalo grow. We're already at about 400 passengers, and it hasn't even been a year yet. So we're doing good. I need to hook up Pittsburgh next. So while we gain money slowly. So I don't need to put a station at the wood now because we're going to go through the warehouse, which has the wood in it. But I am going to hook up
You've strengthened your hand considerably with this station.
Oh, look, and we get a connection bonus here. That's good luck. Nice. That's good luck because, what is it? Like 100 grand? 113? That'll pay for the majority of
Someone
what I'm
told
putting
me
in.
that you were coming. Good luck.
We got some research here. I could unlock the dragon. I'm more concerned with getting the Tyson 10-wheeler, though. Which I actually can get now, so we're gonna get the caboose, which I don't ever use.
You can drive this locomotive straight to the scrapyard.
So I can get that Tyson 10-wheeler, because we are running mixed trains. Because that's how I've been playing. Seem to make a relatively good amount of money doing so. $36 grand.
You have connected many
There you go.
cities to your network.
Yes, I have connected many cities. You are correct. Do our little bit of double tracking there, and oh look, I can circle around. Good. Okay, good. I was wondering if that would be too tight of a turn, but it's not. Why am I hooking up cattle on a pass-through warehouse? Well, California became a new federal state, that's why. No, because... yeah, let's make them all mixed, since they're all mixed trains, except for this guy. He needs to go back to a freight train. Well, because Buffalo has a meat industry, so... Hey, look, Buffalo's growing. Buffalo has a meat industry, so we need to go ahead and get cattle in here. So by transporting back and forth, but he doesn't need to stop on the way back. Transporting cattle back will get us money as well and supply the meat industry for Buffalo. I'm gonna go ahead and rename this before I get too far ahead of myself. So you end up dealing with a lot of passengers and mail in this one, I've noticed, and it actually gets in the way of trying to get Buffalo to grow. We'll steal some shit from Beatrix, who cares? Oh, I made a mistake. I needed to expand this. My bad. Oh, shit. It needed to be like this. Wow.
It's not polite to go snooping around here.
You wanted a separate platform because you don't want to fight with the platform that's working with New York over there. Wow, that could have been bad.
Chin up, sweetie. There's no such thing as a bad press.
What did I steal from her? The dragon? Yep. Alright, what do I need to work on? Probably continuing to grow buffalo. But first, I'm going to go ahead and expand this station too. And we're going to throw something down in Toledo.
Well, I wouldn't have built that station here.
And honestly, I could have done a one rural pass through and then just done two of them transporting this way, but that's fine. That's not a big deal. Oop, I want this one.
Look out. I've still got an ace or two up my sleeve.
That'll make our trains even cheaper. 211 grand for this? Wow. Is that just because it's a long ways? Probably. We do need to get Toledo to New York as well, but you need a significant amount of money to do that. So now that this is hooked up, we can go ahead and double track it, because there's going to be a good decent amount of trains on here, probably because it's a long distance one. Normally I only run like 4, but since this is a long line, it'll probably be my max of 9. Oh, I was wondering why nobody's moving. It's because someone broke down. There we go. Now these two guys are hooked up. This is a long, long journey. Buffalo to Toledo, please. Tyson 10-wheeler. Can probably just do 4 for now, since I don't really have a lot of money. If it's an automatic line, I like to run mixed trains if I can, but you don't always have mixed trains available to you, so take that for what it is. This is going to be expensive, and I haven't done this in the past when I was testing, but I'm going to go ahead and try it now. By running a dedicated freight line into this warehouse, because we're only focused on buffalo growing for this one. And it doesn't need to grow that high, so if we weren't trying to grow buffalo, I wouldn't worry about running dedicated freight into it by any means. My rural pass-through stations usually end up giving you enough money. Okay. Might as well just run this all the way back. Go to the fruit. 2 of them should be enough. Okay. I suppose we could probably do dragons. And then we'll do corn. Double it up so we can have a couple sitting here without penalty.
Chin up, sweetie. There's no such thing as a bad press.
I'm not even listening to you guys. You don't do anything in this scenario. I'm not worried about it. How are we doing? Well, we're getting closer to the quarterly profit. We're literally almost done with the passengers, and Buffalo, so that's why I'm focusing on Buffalo needs to grow. Not overly concerned yet, by any means. Then after this, I might consider starting to do the line from Toledo to New York. That doesn't ever fucking work for some reason. As long as you can get that express line, the rest of these gold, I would say that's almost the hardest one for me, just because it doesn't give it to me for some reason. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. All of these other ones are relatively simple. That'll be fine. There's not a lot of traffic on this line, and I probably didn't need to run a dedicated double track just for the freight trains, but that's okay. Okay. So I'm not ready to get that. I will want the Rensselaer though, because you have to have the fastest train or whatever, blah blah blah. Oh, look at this. So normally Syracuse gets the cloth industry. This is actually reversed. This time they got the clothing and Buffalo got the cloth. So here's where maybe you could run... We could put cloth in here.
You have achieved significant quarterly results, and you can be satisfied with that.
Let's put cloth in there. Not that we would normally do that, but let's do that just for the sake of growing Buffalo further. And then we could run around Syracuse. Normally you just have to run it straight into Syracuse here, which is a very nice short way to do it, but apparently not this time. What would be a good way to get over there? Run maybe through here? So I want to hook up into this grain like that. Big old expensive circle is what that looks like.
You should look for your train.
I think for now we can just run the one train until we can saturate. What did I do here? Oh. I guess it's not that much to just back it up. Or not back it up, but track it up. Okay. So bad jokes aside. As you can see, now I'm starting to get like more money than I can spend it, which is that's where you want to be. That's a good situation to be in. So we might as well run several trains, I guess. And then we'll max out the cotton.
You have successfully established a major passenger line.
There you go. 1,000 passengers to New York. Or from Buffalo to New York. Or the other way around. Whichever one it is. I see we're actually not even keeping up with the corn and stuff, so... I'll go ahead and make a third one for each one. Buffalo has begun growing again. Almost at 70%. That's pretty good. Don't even need the beer. Now, I could have gotten the beer if I wanted to, so... We'll reduce purchase price of locomotives by 30%. And then here shortly, I'll get the Rensselaer. Preemptively, I'm going to expand this Toledo station. And I wonder if it would be faster. I don't know which is faster to run. We'll take it from here and we'll take it over. See how much it would be when I get it all figured out. Gonna bridge. No, let's go ahead and bridge that. We don't really need to do a tunnel. You don't need to do a tunnel, friend. You don't want steep grades because then your train slows down or some shit. Now, $6 million. Probably not. Probably don't want to do $6 million, I guess. That just shaved off quite a bit. We can go through here and like that. That's fine. Like, honestly, could you be any straighter than that? That's like perfect. I don't understand. And the best part, the game probably will not give it to me. We'll go through there and we'll go through there. We'll get to that amount of money relatively quick, but the game likely will not give it to me, and I really hope it does, because I'm really tired of doing this Commodore mission. It's not very challenging. There's not much you have to think about doing. So I'm gonna make actually some money by replacing these trains, since they're 30% cheaper now. And my cat's screaming, so that's good. I'm just gonna run one train back and forth. That should get us enough. Buffalo's gonna, looks like, continue to grow. Don't even need to put it in a museum. Now we're just waiting. Ooh. Cheaper trains, I'll take that. Thank you.
One of your connected cities has reached a respectable size.
70,000 in Buffalo. These are probably your hardest ones, just because you have to do them quick. But even by that metric, they're not hard compared to Metropolis or something, so... And we're right about to get enough to,
Call that a new locomotive?
use this
Does it
Rensselaer.
have cannons as well?
Let's reduce maintenance requirements by 10. And look, then we're almost ready to get the Rogers American to upgrade the Rensselaer. So there we go. Now we have enough to run a train, try to get an express line between Toledo and New York, which is going to be passengers and mail from Toledo to New York. Running the Rensselaer, which is the fastest train that I have. And just to, I don't normally do this with personnel, but just because I'm going to give it an extra 5% boost with an engineer. And, I don't know, we'll increase our money with passengers, sure. Don't normally do that. I am going to put supply towers down now. Where, I don't know where would be a good one for this. Maybe here, and another one closer to this side. Give it every benefit of the doubt, because that one will screw you over. It's such a stupid line. So now that he's set up, now we just explode. Explode and take over your competitors. I don't know if everybody's playthrough is going to have AI that doesn't work.
Another station? That's not a nice sight.
But mine does not work for some reason. Maybe this scenario is just broken. Which I guess is fine, because you're still doing it. Still doing the tasks. You're just, it's just easier than it should be. The amount of times over the past few days that I've done this one, trying to figure out why I'm not getting the express line, and what I'm doing right now is just like I've done like 17 times, I feel like. It's just so repetitive. Alright, then you hook these guys up like that and run your trains. And there we go. Now you're out of money and you're bankrupt, so that's when you basically just give up. So Indianapolis is a meat city, so we're going to do a pass-through.
But that farm was already on my rail network.
Rural station. Well, now it's on my network, Dawn. Shut up, nerd. Upgrade the station here. And like that. Can even straighten it out just so it looks real nice. Those free maintenance sheds are just crazy powerful for Doc. Once you have enough money to not be worried about having to expand super fast anymore. It's just
What's
super
the deal
expensive.
with the station? Are you looking for a fight?
Or super time consuming to have your trains do maintenance in the beginning. So once you can get past that initial explosion phase, it's not a big deal to let your trains do maintenance after the fact. And now that I'm saying that, I didn't hook up, it looks like I didn't hook up any supply towers anywhere else, which is my fault. But that's mainly because I don't have the money to put them in. As I have said before, they're 30 grand a pop, so it's a pretty big deal. It's much cheaper to just keep doing that until you would literally have more money than you could possibly spend. We don't need to go back to the cattle here because Grand Rapids doesn't take cattle. So I'm gonna go check in on that Rensselaer, my express line. He's just coming back. So I think they have to do a couple stops or round trips maybe. Oh, let's get this one. Another 5% boost in speed. Like, don't get me wrong, you can do express lines without trained personnel. Do they help? Yeah, I guess. 5% something. It's not really much of anything, but it's something.
One thing is clear. Either the station goes or you do. Are you looking for a fight? This farm belongs to me.
Buffalo continues to grow. It's now at 90,000. Is that what that said? 90,000 inhabitants. We'll throw in our maintenance sheds. Upgrade this station. And now, the reason I'm upgrading the station is because, well, Dawn already has another station in the city, and you can only have 2 stations in a city, so my only thing I can do to get more platforms is to spend money on upgrading the station. Not even hungry. Huh? I'm not even hungry for that. Never again by coach. Nobody will ever take a coach again. Haha. This is not going to Corn. This is going to Louisville. With a Tyson 10-wheeler. Let's get that Rogers American.
How sweet! You have a new toy.
Plus reduce maintenance requirements by 10%. We'll upgrade that Rensselaer with a Rogers American so it goes even faster. Somehow these guys have an express line between Toledo and Buffalo, which I find funny. Let's put in a regular train station here. And a second one in Pittsburgh. I basically have just been doing the same thing over and over for days, trying to see why I don't get this express line. So if I'm lucky, we should be getting it, but I feel like I did a pretty good job this time. But I feel like I do a pretty good job most times, and it doesn't give it to you. And I don't know why. Which is weird, because I have gotten it before, like on the first time or second time I tried this. I was able to get it, but I ran the express line, like, alongside these other tracks, and like around Syracuse, and I'm like, there's no way going around all this is a straighter line than literally a straight line. Like, this is, yeah, you're going, I would not think that would be a straighter direction to go around like that, but somehow we still don't have it already. So we'll go hook up more stuff just to increase our money. We need a 40 million company value. We're not trying to spend too much money if we can help it, so none of these stupid bridges, please. Oh. Okay. That looks fine. Pick this up like that. There we go. And in. Okay, that should be good. I don't know if my deal is that I keep... Maybe it is, I'm just starting the express line, or I was starting it too late. Or something. Suppose that's a possibility. So I wasn't making 3 round trips or something often enough? Or quick enough, I mean?
You have now set up an express train from New York to the Great Lakes.
Did I? Gold? Yes! It's only been like attempt 7. Well, not really attempt, just testing. Metropolis actually did have like 8 attempts. Okay, so now you're pretty much good after this. Just keep expanding, and there's really nothing that they can do to stop you.
Oh, what do we have here? Looks like the plans from your development department.
I basically won at this point. Just keep expanding, make more money, and then that's really it. This one didn't really turn out to be that difficult at all. And I don't know why. I think a big part of it is because the AI is fucking broken. That's what I say. Do you see what I see?
Nope.
I see a perfect score on Commodore. Hey, that rhymed. What are the odds? I'm not even reading off of a script or anything. I probably should go back and put in... supply stations sooner than later. You know, that's a good... I wonder, do supply stations add to your valuation? I don't know. It counts as an asset, doesn't it? So I would think it might. I don't know, I never thought about that one. That might be a good way to increase your valuation. However, it's kind of an expensive way to do it. 30,000. Plus, you only need so many of them, too. Like, you don't need 1,700 on a rail line. You only need, like, one and maybe two in the case of really long distances like Toledo to New York. And even then, two might have been a stretch. I probably could have done some like evaluation or something and figured out exactly where in the middle it would have been good to get away with just one, but I didn't do that. So, and I also don't want to do that. It seems like a lot of work. Alrighty then. Louisville to these, to Knoxville, to back to these. There you go. I would say 2 pass-through rural stations is about the max that a train can handle. Let's just run the max. Yeah, you know what? Let's go back and fill out some of these other ones. These are pretty long lines, so there's gonna be something to transport. This is another one. And didn't I already run a max onto here? I did. Oh, there we go. Got another vote. Or not a vote. Voting. Auction. So here's a fun little trick.
Did you bring your big wallet with you?
There's a grain
The
farm.
rail network spreads out like weeds.
Jesus. Right here. Well, Knoxville's a meat city. Atlanta and Montgomery are beer cities. So if you put in a double station here, you can have a really profitable line between these two. Or between these three, actually, because there's 3 cities. I don't know how to count, so. And I want another regular train station here.
Don't worry about it. Who's interested in what the tabloids say, right?
Not me, Beatrix. There we go. There we go. I read somewhere that someone had a good idea, and it's funny because Railroad Tycoon 3 and maybe even the other ones did this as well. That you could have a little like toggle switch, and when you run track, it would automatically run double track for you, so you don't always have to go back and do the same action twice. That would have been a really nice thing for this game. Their track building is already super simple. I don't know why they didn't think to do that.
I'll think of something for you. You can be sure of that. Did you see what happened? Remember, this can happen again and again.
Nope. I don't even know what you're talking about. Did you, like, blow up one of my trains or something? Let's go down here to Montgomery.
Well, everyone has to start somewhere. Don't worry about it. Who's interested in what the tabloids say, right?
Uh-huh. Not me.
Many cities are now connected via your rail network.
There you go. That is 12 cities connected. Now, we're getting pretty close to this 7,000 miles of rail. I think once I hook up another city or 2, maybe that should trigger. There we go. Now we got a bunch of locomotives missing shit, okay. Which is why Doc is just so powerful. Atlanta with our 10-wheeler. So let's go to Jacksonville. And this one can be a big warehouse. 'Cause look at all these things that are down here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, all in this nice little area. And in fact, you can get away with not running trains for 2 of them. And if I was lucky, 3, but oh, that's close. Okay. We're just going to do these 2 and then
Shouldn't you also leave a bit of room for more efficient rail systems?
What do you know about efficient rail systems? Shut up. Stupid bitch. Okay. So let's do that. I think this is where I'll get my 7,000 miles of track, but I'm not sure. I think it's funny how much... It's like, oh my god, I gotta run 8,000 miles worth of track. Well, this alone is 193 right here. But on the game, because of the scale, it doesn't appear to be that much. Plus, I think every time you double track, that counts as well. So in reality, I only have about half of that, but because I double track everywhere, you get those numbers added, which is nice. And technically it's, you know, you are running more rail. It's just not in one direction, I guess. So this should be good now. We'll run some extra stuff to pick up, or to load the warehouse. Jacksonville. Alright, so we have grain. We have logs, sugar, milk, vegetables, and fruit. And now to run the rest of these in. Like that. Dragon, there you go. Use a freight train to haul freight. Imagine that. Milk. Dragon. I see all of my other lines complaining. I see them. I'm a little bit more preoccupied with getting this up and running first. Alright, Jesus, what? Here. Be new. And then, what? Fruit, right? That was the last one? This actually might be enough to complete our... yeah, I only need like 10 miles. This is... Once I get this completed, this will be my 1,000 or 7,000 miles of track or whatever.
Your tracks have reached a considerable length in total.
There you go, there's 7,000 miles of tracks. Not super daunting, but takes some money to do, that's for sure. So that should be everything now. Those are all hooked up with like a nice spider web type thing going on. Let's go ahead and get the next mixed train, which is the Rogers Mogul, which is faster and looks like it has better traction.
Ooh, is your new locomotive as quick as it looks?
Upgrade my Tyson 10-wheelers. I'm not looking to do anything like that. I don't know. So I repaid my bonds and took them back out. And now we can buy Don Lorenzo. I'm not sure why you get an extra charge of 10% by using this button to automatically do it, but look at that.
You have taken over a competitor. The market is thinning out.
Hey, thanks for trusting me, eh?
Uh-huh. Well, that's that one. We gotta buy out the other two before we get 40 million evaluation. Otherwise, it'll end because these are optional tasks. So let's go ahead and take a peek at how much would it be to buy Beatrix. Well, she's at 6 million, so quite a bit. We can liquidate everything and get, you know,
You'll find yourself in a lovely spot with the fishes.
No, I don't. It looks like it actually does increase your valuation when you do that. So we'll renew our bonds, and now it looks like Trisha's on the bottom. So these two are just trading blows, even though they don't do anything. We only need about $1 million, so we'll just wait. Because I'm a madman. Definitely don't need more money at this point.
Shouldn't you also leave a bit of room for more efficient rail systems?
Is there any rich person in real life you think that would ever utter those words that I don't need more money? Like, is that just something I would say because I'm just like an average person? Let's hook these up. Not Toledo to Sugar. Piece of shit. Louisville. Hate that it does that. This is my new mix train. Now they'll take sugar. Okay, so look, we're already at 20.5 million, so I need to make sure I buy these guys out before it's too late. Alright, Beatrix, looks like you're in the losing ring.
You can't go wrong investing in my company.
Oh, well, I'm not investing in it, I'm liquidating it.
How dare you throw me out of business? You should be ashamed of yourself.
I am ashamed. Okay. Take out new bonds. Trisha, what are you at? So, Buffalo's at 120, look at that. I don't know what the deal is with this scenario. Like I said, I think it's broken. They didn't even expand. They're way too easy to buy out. So, I don't know how you would ever get enough money normally to buy out 3 competitors. I'm sure there's going to be later scenarios that I have to do that, so I'll find out, but still. Yeah, I'm just gonna pay attention to Trisha, and we'll buy her, and then it's just a waiting. There you go.
You are peerless. None of your competitors can keep up with you.
Now we just wait. But, so I don't know what the deal is. I was having to, like, go like crazy in Metropolis.
You're breaking my heart, sweetie, but that's the game, I guess.
But this one, I've been playing very casually, and I've still gotten everything on time, so I don't know. I guess some scenarios are just way nuts, and some are not so nuts. Rather than just sitting here and doing nothing, I guess I'll just keep expanding. It's not gonna hurt my valuation to expand, that's for sure. What could I run between these two cities? Well, Augusta's a meat, and this is a beer. Here's a cattle. That's actually the only thing. That's also a beer. Look at this. We could do this. Let's put in a train station. And do it something like that. Ah, it's so nice. No more competitors to, you know, that don't shut the fuck up ever. Ah, peace and quiet at last. All it took was a few $1 million to buy everybody. So if you ever got anybody in your real life that you wish would quit talking, just offer to pay them to quit talking. There you go. Ultimate solution. Well, look, I'm gonna automatically get this to increase packages by a station by 10% because there's nobody else here. 23 million? I'm more worried about making more money, so let's increase the transported mail profit by 7%. Charleston is a beer city. Look at that. Well, there's nothing but corn to run in between these two, so... And actually, Jacksonville's missing corn, so what we can do is this. Same situation. We can go ahead and do, literally the same thing. Alright, so this should all be set up to go. Just like that. Cool. So we can do Augusta to corn, to Charleston, back to corn. Charleston. Remember, all this is going to do is increase our valuation even more. I don't want Jacksonville 2. Looks like I didn't put that in. Or take that out, actually, rather. And also Augusta down to Jacksonville. Yeah, we're doing pretty good, I'd say. Let's increase money by passengers. 7% higher for passengers. Sure. Fuck it. Literally does not matter. Here, and in fact, what that allows me to do is to do this. You can use all these platforms for pass-through situation. Well, we're about to be done in about $5 million or so. Debatable if I'll even have enough time to get this up and running. I guess I should. Charlotte to Wilmington as well. I could have run between these two, but I mean, there's really no reason to. Yep, well, here it is. So yeah, pretty much every city on the map connected just because, I
It's
don't know.
remarkable
There it is.
how much your company is worth now. You have successfully expanded your railroad lines in all directions. This is for eternity. Well, not if man should ever learn to fly, of course. But we can wait another 100 years for that.
We can wait another 100 years for flight. How about try 50? There you go. Chapter was a success. All gold ticks. All hardest difficulties. I don't know. I'll attribute this one. A lot of this one had to be because the competitors didn't do anything. Anyway, fulfilled test 10 of 10. Time rating 20 of 20. Difficulty rating we couldn't change. Competitor rating we could change. Very hard. You had 3 competitors, so you have the max of ×3. Map rating couldn't change. Pause mode rating we did change to Trainiac, so you got that bonus. Overall rating 75. I'm assuming this is the highest score you can get on this, so I think with my math being right, I think my math is right, so this should be the highest is 75. So yeah. Cool.